So the last time I saw Michael was on Sunday, August the 21st, 2022. When I was getting ready to leave for work, he always carried my backpack out to the car and kissed me goodbye. And that particular night, he kissed me goodbye and I said, "Come back." I said, "Let me give you one more kiss." And I held his face in my hands and kissed him goodbye again. And as I pulled out of the driveway, waved goodbye and said, "I love you."
We were preparing to go to a family wedding, actually. We should have left for the weekend that my dad was killed. He was over at my house and he was working on my car, and my kids were all in the back of the car watching him do his mechanic job. And you know, he was always there ready to help, and we had to hook that up so our trailer would plug in, and he was out there wiring it. And you know, he was joking around with the kids. He grabbed onto the car, wasn't even on, and he grabbed onto the wire, and he would pretend like he was getting electrocuted. And it was something that he did with us when we were kids, and they totally bought it and were horrified. And you know, he'd start laughing at them with his big grin, and he would tell them, "No, really, Grandpappy's okay. It was just a joke. It's fine." You know, and then when he got ready to leave, he hugged everybody and headed out. And I just didn't realize that was going to be the last time I saw him. But I'm glad that it was a good memory.
So the last time I saw my dad, he and I actually drove my kids up to Virginia. My kids were going to go spend time with their other grandparents, and he didn't want me to drive alone, so he took the day off of work and we drove together. It was the greatest blessing because we spent 10 hours in the car together, and we talked and we laughed and we sang. My children and I both cherish that time. And when we got home and he was headed his own way, my dad, true to form, gave me the biggest hug, and that is a very cherished memory. It takes you back. It takes your breath away, because why?
The family of a beloved father and grandfather found murdered more than a year ago seeks answers and justice. Today they spoke out for the first time.
I feel like it's important because there's somebody out there that has murdered my husband, and that person is still on the loose.
I don't think anything's ever going to give us closure. I don't think that there's ever going to be an end to the pain.
Sorry, give me just one more second.
Yes, when it all went off. Mm-hmm. Yeah, kids freaked out. So did mine.
Yeah.
But we've taken most of them up now. He loved the Lord with all of his heart, and he loved his family.
My dad was my best friend. He was the best man at my wedding.
My father-in-law was not a father-in-law to me. He was a father.
They say their world was shattered on August 21st, 2022. A passerby on St. Peter's Church Road saw a camper on fire and called 911. Michael Mitschke was found dead inside. Days later, another discovery.
He had been shot. That was the cause of death.
It's mind-boggling when we first found out that he was murdered.
Who could have done this and why? As an open case, it haunts this family.
I want the person to be behind bars, because for the first 6 months, my son couldn't even sleep in his own room. We have kids that have nightmares. We have kids that worry that our house is going to catch on fire. that somebody's going to do this to us.
And for wife Rosa, there's the fear that the killer is still on the loose, and that means no one is safe. She clings to the memory of the last time she saw her husband, just hours before his murder.
And that particular night, he kissed me goodbye, and I said, "Come back." I said, "Let me give you one more kiss." And I held his face in my hands and kissed him goodbye again. And as I pulled out of the driveway, waved goodbye and said, "I love you."
I don't think anything's ever going to give us closure. I don't think that there's ever going to be an end to the pain. But I want my family to feel safe.
It's a pain they have been enduring since August 21st, 2022.
I couldn't think of anybody who had any grudge against him, any ill will towards him, nothing.
The sheriff says someone shot and killed Michael Mitschke in his camper on St. Peter's Church Road, then set a fire to hide the evidence of the crime. Despite the ongoing investigation, no one has been arrested.
Sometimes you have a lot of information in the case and other times you don't.
Answers would give this family something that has been missing.
Healing, love, peace.
And Michael's wife, Rosa, has a message of compassion for the person responsible for her husband's death.
So we pray for you. We pray for you every day. We pray for our detectives. I pray for my kids, my grandkids. But I pray for you. Because you're the one who did this, who made a choice to do this. And I pray for you. I pray for your soul.
They were two men with apparently little in common.
They had different occupations, they had different ways of life, so there's nothing in the two that would link them together that we can find.
But they are now linked in death, investigators say. David Land was found dead in his shop on Pool Road on July 20th.
I just can't say enough about him, how good a person he is. He was rough around the edges. He pulled no punches. He told you like it was, but he told you with love. He gave his heart.
1 month and 1 day later, and a little less than 10 miles away, Michael Mitschke was found dead inside his burning camper.
That shock was horrifying. It was just so sad that somebody that you know would lose their life that way.
Investigators determined that Mitschke, too, had been murdered. There were suspicions that the two cases could be connected, but confirmation came with the testing of evidence.
Due to our investigation of both crime scenes, our investigative unit has found physical evidence that links the two cases together.
A substantial reward is being offered, $10,000 in the David Land case, $10,000 and another $10,000 from the family in the Mitschke case. Sheriff Allen says he wants to give justice and closure to the families of both men.
We went through a holiday season and we've had a family for the first time without a loved one. So that's one reason that kind of spurred me. I want to really try to put some exposure on this case to try to give these families some justice and some closure.